Make sure it's actually working. Yeah. Oh. Whoops. There we go. I have not. I'm assuming I'll probably get it tomorrow or Monday. When did you send them out? Thursday? Oh, that was nice. Jeez. Hello, everybody, and welcome into this live stream tonight on what is today's date? May 6th, 2022. And we're here with the editor in chief and owner of the Steel Highway magazine, Tom Hogan, who's here tonight to talk about the number 3 issue, which just got dropped in the mail a couple days ago. And I will let Tom take it from here. Go ahead, Tom.
Hello, Michael. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm excited. We've got 3 issues down. This one, I feel like we just keep getting better with every issue. And as you can see from our cover photo here, I'm very excited about this one. This is actually the cover photo from the new issue of the magazine. It's just cropped a little differently. But it is, in fact, what is going to be hitting everyone's mailbox that's ordered an issue. We have 86 subscribers now to the magazine, and I mailed out a total of 139 copies. I actually qualified for bulk rate mailing by weight, so I'm pretty excited about that. And considering that this is only a 6-month-old project, I'm pretty excited about how far it's come so far.
Yeah, come a long way from where you started.
It has. So let's shall we preview a few photos from the new magazine first? Give people to
Yeah, I say we should.
Yeah, a little bit of eye candy to look at. So this is our cover photo. This is a westbound Iowa interstate coming off the government bridge, and he is crossing from Rock Island into Davenport. This is a Giles Typin photo. So thank you, Giles, if you're online tonight for submitting. You got more than one photo in this time, but this is our cover photo. So I wanted to definitely share that. And I don't know, I feel like it was one of those that just framed up really nicely when I brought it out. So the next one that I'm going to share with you, this is a shot from a trip to Montana that Mr. RJV took. Rafter, if you're online, your photo made a this was one of the photos that I actually did horizontal instead of vertical. So, you know, the whole eye candy thing, people get to turn their magazine sideways to see the actual photo in the landscape version. But we have a Montana rail link train. I believe this is an empty coal train moving across the Montana rail link at Bozeman Pass is where we're at right here.
Nicely done there, Rafter.
Yes. So next, we're going to jump over here. And this one is a Luke Wenzenried photo. And we got a little bit of class here in this one. This was a night photo shoot that was done that Luke apparently attended. And we've got a F unit. We've got a high nose Jeep 30. We've got I believe that's a high nose Jeep 9 next to it. And yeah, that number 80 on the far right, it's a little too much of a straight on shot for me to know, but that may be another Jeep 9, maybe.
Kind of looks like it.
And yeah. So this was a museum night shot, but obviously very beautiful photo, well staged, and it made for, I actually did a 2-page spread of night photography, and this is one of the photos that got featured in that section.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we're going to skip along over here, and I'm actually going to show you another photo that went into the night shot collection. This is from Kevin Klitsky of Minnesota, but this is taken, this is the South Kansas and Oklahoma Railroad. We're in Cherryvale, Kansas. And again, this is another photo from the night photography sequence that I put together in the magazine this time. And this one, again, you know, I'm guessing that because you can kind of see a shadow cast forward there, that he's got some halogen lights set up behind him. Mm-hmm. But just a really beautiful shot that he put together here.
Oh, yes, very much so.
So as you can probably tell by now, the theme of the magazine was in fact short lines. Mm-hmm. And so we have no shortage of short line photos that were submitted. The next one we have, well, there we go. Mr. Sam Bolte. And this is at the Railfan Rock up along North Shore Mining in Minnesota. And I know that there's been several trips made out to the range by various local photographers this year. This is the one of the first shots that I've seen that came back from the Iron Range trips. So we have here an empty rock train that I believe is returning to the quarry, North Shore Mining, up on the Canadian side of Minnesota, if you will.
And it makes it even more humbling since the North Shore is being shut down here
Yes.
soon.
And another shot that I included, which is also, this is from Simon Thompson, who is also in Minnesota.
Oh.
But he got just a spectacular view of a loaded North Shore Mining train. And I believe these are 3 EMD Tier 4s that they've got.
I think they're XCSX aces.
Oh, they're aces? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you're right. Because the Tier 4s, they have the pointed radiators at the back.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got 3, I mean, fairly new large power, right? For a short line, but a short line nonetheless. So thank you, Simon, for submitting this. This is another North Shore Mining shot. Loaded pellet train, I believe, going downgrade in this shot. And then we also have, Chris Lastovich has just submitted a ton of photos. And I have to say, I don't know that I would really be able to put together a magazine if he wasn't quite so prolific of a photographer.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's no accident, right? He's good at what he does.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But he also, I think that he sent me 300 photos for this magazine issue. So, and Chris, if you're out there, I love it. I mean, keep sending the photos. It's great. I am actually going to share with you a photo from Chris that did not make the magazine, but it's such an iconic shot that it was one of these that it's always tough when things end up on the cutting room floor.
Oh, man.
And this shot of Bellevue, we have a southbound or eastbound, whatever you want to call it, IC&E loaded ethanol train. And I mean, who knows? I could have been on this train, right?
Yeah.
But this guy is going southbound through Bellevue, and we're on the 52 overpass with the train going underneath on the railroad bridge. And you've got the Potter's Mill there in the background, and just a really iconic Eastern Iowa shot that he was able to grab here. So Chris, this photo is actually not in the magazine, but I felt like it deserves some recognition.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Chris, actually, if you really want to put a fine point on it, Chris is actually the centerfold. He submitted what ended up being the centerfold photo for this particular issue. So when you get your magazine, you'll get to see that. I'm not going to give that one away.
Fair enough.
But thank you, Chris, for your submissions. Then we're also going to look at another photo here. If I can find the right place, because this one was submitted by Dave Kroger.
Oh,
and I actually threw this one into the time capsule section of the magazine. This is a IMRL piggyback train. It was a train 99, I think is what that they referred to it as. And this is at Marquette, Iowa, on the same railroad that we just saw the IC&E train, but about a decade earlier. And we have a SD45 and an SD40 pulling this southbound piggyback train out of Marquette. Just, I mean, you can even see the plume of exhaust, right? He's throttling up. He's getting ready to leave the yard and head out of town.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep. So thank you, Dave Kroger, for that submission. And then the last photo. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. We're going to do 2 more photos. So we're going to go to Jacob Nerup because he gave us a fairly nice looking shot. I say fairly, I mean, I'm understating, right? But the final revenue run of the Keokuk Junction Fs. And we are en route to La Harpe, Illinois, I believe, in this shot. And this was another photo that is in fact included in the magazine. So thank you, Jacob, for submitting this fantastic shot. And then the final one that I'm going to share with you is submitted by Ian Cole out in Pennsylvania. And I'll admit, I didn't do this on purpose, but there's a lot of photos where people got some reflection into the shots in this issue. And this one, it was just amazing for that being basically like a mud puddle in the ballast or in the sticks there next to the tracks. He got some really nice reflection out of that shot. I was really impressed.
Yeah, he did.
Because that's not a spot where I'm assuming that, looking at the foliage and everything, this is probably very, very late fall, if I had to guess. You can see the one tree there that still has leaves on it that have all turned brown. Mm-hmm. And they must have gotten some heavy fall rain, and it created this perfect mud puddle for him to take a reflection shot of these Jeeps going by. Mm-hmm. And I would have to look back at my notes now. I forgot where this one was in Ohio. I remember that. And I want to say that it was on the Youngstown Railroad, or Youngstown and Southeastern, perhaps, in Ohio. So, I mean, obviously, I will stand corrected. I'm working off of memory here now, and my notes have abandoned me. But yes, Ian Cole, another guy, he submitted and got some photos in issue number 2, and he got several photos in issue number 3 as well. That just some fantastic photography here. So thank you to everyone. Let me just to count this up, just to make sure, I had 23 photographers that submitted photos for this magazine. And, a 40-page magazine, and I usually get 2 photos to a page, like a photo and a half to a page on average through the whole thing, means I put about 60 photos in a 40-page magazine. And I really struggled. There were some really good photos that did not make the cut this time. So I just want everyone to know the photography was fantastic. I really enjoyed looking through everyone's photos, and it was really tough to decide who was going to make the cut and who wasn't, and what photos were actually going to be included and what was not. And this was it was incredibly difficult, but it was very rewarding. And I think we got an excellent magazine out of it when we were done. So I'm really happy with how it went. Well, that is the photo preview section of what I planned on doing. And now I think the next thing we need to talk about is some webcams. I mean, that's kind of why we're all here, right?
I would agree. I know you've had 2 new webcams, if I remember correctly, or is it 3 since we last talked? I think it's just 2.
Well, here's the deal. So I installed a webcam out at Carroll 2 weeks ago now. And then last Saturday, I was at West Liberty, and this is a great story that I'll share, because the Carroll one had been planned forever, right? We did fundraising. I bought equipment. I was like, we're doing this. And right now, I can tell you, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm going to refresh it just to see. Yeah, the Carroll webcam has been a bit of a revelation that this is the one that everybody seems to gravitate toward. So 19 people watching Carroll right now. That number on a weekday, especially in the afternoon, that number can get as high as 40s at times. So I've been really happy with how that went. And thank you to the Carroll Chamber of Commerce for hosting the webcam, and for the contacts, everybody that donated to it. It's been going really well. So I tried to put in an east webcam, to have an east and a west webcam at Cedar Falls. And the east webcam has kind of been a problem. And then this afternoon, I went to try to reboot the webcam server in Cedar Falls, and it never came back up.
Uh-oh.
And so that's why we only have 6 live streams right now.
Oh, yeah,
now I do have a trip. Yeah, I do have a trip planned up there this week. So I'm going to be checking that out if I can't get it to go remotely. And then obviously I have some contacts with the ice cream shop owner there that's actually hosting the webcam, that he'll go up there and just reboot the PC for me if I need to. But I'm hoping it just comes back on its own. I shut it down to run updates on the PC, and it never came back. That was at 4:49 this afternoon. So unfortunately, we've been missing our Cedar Falls webcam.
Well, that's a
yeah, but we do have Cedar Falls ATCS working. And, for those of you that aren't aware of this, there's a host in Independence. And the host in Independence for ATCS had been able to pick up Mona Junction and Cedar Falls Junction, but not West Waterloo and Jackson. So now, with the ATCS site in Cedar Falls, we're able to pick up all 4 of those control points consistently and with a really low error rate. So that was the other part of the Cedar Falls project. And Cedar Falls, the reason I spend all this time talking about it, because I did that totally out of subscription money. The Carroll Depot, we did that and we got it going. That was all done with donations. There is an ATCS server out there, but it needs there's a 5-port switch out there that died on it that has to be replaced. And so I've got to ship them out a new part and get that so that it can be installed. But we will have ATCS out in Carroll as well once that gets all straightened out.
That'll be nice. Be helpful for the Western Iowa foamers.
Right.
I don't know how far you'll be able to see on it, but that'll be nice because the boon step's not covered very often.
No, when I was out there site surveying it last September, I was able to get BCP data from Arcadia, which is the next tower to the west of Carroll, and then Glidden, which is just east of Carroll. So I'm hoping we get all that once it comes in.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And the UP's already knocked out the west end of the boon sub. You can't even cover anything west of Arcadia anymore because of Denison to Missouri Valley getting converted over to positive train control.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so there's nothing out there to even watch that far out. So moving along, we have West Liberty. And I'll tell you, West Liberty was something that very much came up, and it was the guy who is my contact in West Liberty. His name is Cliff McFerrin. And I just met him for the first time in Keokuk a month ago, or at the end of last month, I should say, at the Iowa chapter meet. And I asked him, hey, we should do a webcam there in West Liberty sometime. And it was kind of like a passing conversation, sure, we should do a webcam in West Liberty. Absolutely. We should really do a webcam in West Liberty. And we just kind of left it at that. We didn't really talk about it anymore after that. And then 2 weeks later, this deal gets announced where all this historical UP equipment is getting moved to Silvis. And we find out it's all getting interchanged at Council Bluffs to the Iowa Interstate to go to Silvis. And suddenly I called up Cliff, and I called him up on a Friday night and I said, hey, we should really do that webcam. And Cliff responded to me saying, I talked to our board and they really want to do a webcam. And so I was like, we're doing this. And then the next day on Saturday, it rained all day. All of my kids' soccer games got rained out. And so suddenly it was, I've got a free day. I'm going down to West Liberty. We're getting this done. So
that's good.
I have gotten some questions about the pole in the middle of the shot at West Liberty.
I can imagine.
And I'll be honest with you, because this was kind of a slapdash project, we put the webcam inside of a second story window because that was what we could do to get it up and operating, right, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to transpire or not, but the plan is if the Depot Historicals Committee goes along with it, is we want to move the webcam. I'm going to pull this up actually to show people. We want to move the webcam actually onto the semaphore pole.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the radio antenna should also be mounted to the semaphore pole when we're done, assuming that their historical society goes along with it. I'm not saying this to put a bunch of pressure on them. I'm just telling them that's the plan. So that's what we're pursuing right now. This is one of these things where quite literally something is better than nothing.
Yep.
But we're hoping to improve upon this situation. I don't know how quickly it'll go, but we're going to improve upon it here sometime in the near future. I do have plans in place to upgrade the Washington webcam and the Belle Plaine webcam as well. Now, the Belle Plaine webcam is still going to be up on top of the roof of the hotel or the roof of the museum there in Belle Plaine. But I'm going to get a webcam in there that's like these 4K webcams, which is the newer ones that I have. Mm-hmm. Muscatine was the first one of those to go in. And so it's still going to be up on the roof of the museum, but it is going to be a higher resolution shot, and I'll be able to crop it better and zoom in and actually get it to where it's not showing you, if we go over to this right now, the night vision on this thing doesn't work very well. And you've got a whole bunch of the street over here. And I think that by getting it upgraded, it'll make a big difference. You still have a lack of light, unfortunately. Yeah. And so it's not particularly useful at nighttime, but it's going to be better than nothing at all. And we'll be able to restore the old Belle Plaine radio feed also.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to monitor the UP and the Iowa Interstate from there. And the Iowa Northern too, I think.
Oh, good deal.
So, yeah. And then Washington, the Belle Plaine will probably get upgraded sometime in June. Washington is going to get upgraded at the end of May here, and they're going to get a newer 4K webcam also. Oh yeah, that BNSF sticker unit went by.
Oh.
Earlier today.
Presuming a Coltrane, I assume. I
don't know. I think so. I read somewhere it was an empty sand train, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, it's PSR, so it's an empty sand train with manifest and probably like some auto racks and who knows what else on
it. Yeah.
So what else do I know? Oh, the Muscatine hotel webcam. So there's nobody actually logged in watching it right now. This got picked up by.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This got picked up by a website that's streaming it live now called Webcam Taxi. I had never heard of these people before. And at the moment, there's only one person watching. Apparently, I need to clean this webcam a little bit. I'll have to put that on my schedule of things to do here over the summer. get down there and clean the lens cover on this webcam a little bit. Yeah, you can tell how often I actually watch my own webcams. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Muscatine hotel webcam got picked up by Webcam Taxi, and now it's being streamed on their website. And as of last night, when I looked, they were the #1 external source of traffic for the entire YouTube, for my entire YouTube channel here.
Huh. Nice.
Yeah. So what else? Well, all right. Future projects.
I know everybody's gonna ask. I know what you're gonna talk about, but I know everybody's gonna ask about the Dubuque one.
Yeah. So I was up in Dubuque on, let me think, today is Friday. I was up in Dubuque on Wednesday. And I confirmed with our host in East Dubuque, those webcams are going to go up probably in about 2 weeks, maybe. But if it ends up being 3, obviously, don't try to tar and feather me, please. But yes, we're going to put up 2 webcams, one facing each direction off of the host in East Dubuque. It's off of 6th Street. The one that's looking west should have a pretty good shot of the overhead signal gantry there in East Dubuque, the one that's at East Cabin. And then the east facing one, you'll be able to see all the way down by where the curve is, where it curves away at Timmerman's and 20 and the railroad both kind of curve around some trees and out of sight. So we'll have webcams looking both directions out there.
Good deal.
Yep. And then the host that I talked to in Dubuque, so this is our 3rd host that I've tried working with. The first 2 both bailed on me effectively. The first one bailed on me. The second one said, well, you can have a webcam, but it might be 2023 before you can put it up. I was like, I think we'll just keep working on this. And I found a 3rd potential host for a webcam in Dubuque. And it's actually they're a business that's located in that kind of triangular wedge where the CN and CP come together between 5th Street and 7th Street. And so, again, there will be 2 webcams. One, you'll see trains coming off the bridge and around the curve toward Dubuque Junction and 5th Street. And the other webcam, you're going to be looking basically directly at the 7th Street crossing on the CP. And you'll see the CP trains go through the other webcam when they cross 5th Street and Dubuque Junction as well. But you'll definitely see the CN ones will be a lot closer up, a lot better shot. Pardon me, a lot better shot. So I'm working with them. I'm waiting for an answer, but this one definitely seems the most promising for sure.
Okay.
And then when you get your magazine, you are going to find out that everyone that's getting a copy of this issue is that we are kicking off a fundraiser for webcams in Clinton, Iowa. And I am hoping to pair this with webcams in Lowmore, but I don't have confirmation of the Lowmore location yet. So the fundraising goal is going to be something like $2,000, but it's going to be for webcams and ATCS in downtown Clinton at the Clinton Historical Society Museum, and then also webcams and ATCS out at Lowmore. And I'm hoping to get both of those locked down this week. And if you go out there, there's a GoFundMe that's already out there, but it's something that it hasn't been finalized for the second half of it, the part that I want to put in Lowmore. So I'll put out some updates for that as we find out more. Ha ha ha. So the other thing that I wanted to make sure and talk about was the 24 hours in East Dubuque. And that was something that when I was up there in East Dubuque, I did confirm that with the city manager. I'm going to go to Sign Up Genius because that's where I've got that. We're going to log in, and we're going to see that there are still spots open for 24 hours in East Dubuque. So anybody that would like to sign up, we can put a link maybe when we're done. Put this link, and then we'll put the Steel Highway link in the description after we're done here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that, we've got to, for being still 2 months out, basically, or month and a half out, we got a decent number of people signed up, and I'm hoping that more will continue to sign up as we're going along here as well. But lots of empty spots, lots of places for people to sign up and join in. And we're going to have a special gift for everybody that participates in the 24-hour event. I'm having hats made, actually, Steel Highway ball caps. Oh. So everybody that participates is going to get a free ball cap if they go out and do East Dubuque. So
cool. Yeah.
Well, Michael, do you have any other questions for me? Otherwise, I think I've about run out of things to talk about here.
Don't believe so, which is actually good because apparently I only have 3 minutes left before the meeting ends.
I know. I see that time. I saw that timer counting down, and because I've done interviews before, I was like, all right, we got to wrap up.
Yeah.
Gotta wrap up. Are we gonna make this work?
I don't think I have any other. I know we discussed this, but do you want to tell the people what issue 4 is gonna be about?
Oh yeah, issue 4 is going to be about passenger trains and passenger operations, and this can be museums, it can be Amtrak, it can be VIA up in Canada, or whatever you want to submit. Metro over in Chicago, the L trains, anything is fair game. But all manner of passenger operations, excursions, anything that's a train carrying people is all fair game. So absolutely make my life difficult. Submit all the photos you want. Send them to thesteelhighway@gmail.com.
God, you heard it there, folks. Well, that should do it. That pretty much covered everything I think we wanted to cover. Once again, thanks to Tom for taking the time to do this. And like we said earlier, you should see your magazines if you haven't already sometime next week, correct?
Yeah, they're in the mail as of Wednesday, so people should start getting them tomorrow or even Monday. Yes, people that are local to Cedar Rapids, absolutely, they're going to see it first.
Oh, I do have one question. Do geotrains count?
I mean, go ahead and submit it. I don't know if I'll necessarily use it or not, but yeah, you're talking about like the inspection trains and the geometry trains and some of these one-off specials like the EC5 car that the UP runs.
Okay, guys. Well, that should do it for this live stream. We'll probably be back in July, August, I'm guessing.
August. Next issue will be about August 2nd or August 3rd, somewhere in there. Yep.
Alrighty.
So yeah, if you want to subscribe, go to steel-highway.com because that is where you can sign up and get the issues mailed directly to you.
Alrighty, well, that's just about it for time. So we will catch you guys on the next live stream.